Yesterday we talked about the gradient, right? So let's have a look at some gradient. Look at this gradient. So when we calculate the gradient, what is the formula to calculate the gradient? M equals y step over x step. Very good. Okay, so this one, last time I put the R there. That means you have to remember. Okay, you have to remember. Always y step over x step. Okay, all right. Now let's do a very quick talking here. Now if I give you a Cartesian plane, okay, a Cartesian plane, I need to emphasize that again. For the Cartesian plane, you need to have x, y, 0, and arrow on both sides. Okay. Now if I draw the line like that. Okay, for this line, we just choose 2 points. For example, I choose this point and this point. Now for this point, I can say this is x1 and then this is y1. Okay? So last time I said x1 can be any number. It's just the first x value. y1 means the first y value. So the coordinate of this point, as you can see, this is point A, is x1, y1. So this is the coordinate of this point. For point B, we have the coordinate. Also, we have the coordinate x and y. We can see this is x2, y2. Okay, so x2, y2 means the second x value and the second y value. Okay, it's a little bit abstract, but it's not difficult to understand. So that means x is here, x2, and y2 is here. The y2 can be -2, -3, -4. Just a y2 in general. Okay, in general. Now, yesterday we said when we calculate the gradient, we want to know the general formula, and then you can use that for all questions. Okay. So for this one, we can rewrite m equals. So for y step, that means I start from here and then go to B. From y1 to y2. What is the distance? Yesterday I said the distance equals the ending point, take away starting point. So if I start from y1, go to y2, what is the distance? y2 take away y1. Good. So that is y2 take away y1. So this is the distance. For x. Alright? For x, that should be which one take away which one? x2 take away x1. So this is the formula to calculate the gradient. Okay? Take away to calculate the gradient. Okay, now let's have a look at this question. Now if the line passes through -7, 3 and 5, 4, find the gradient. Alright, so yesterday, like I said, to make this question easier, I want everyone to label that on the top of each coordinate, and then that will be easier for you. Some people may say, oh, I don't have to do that. I know this is 1, 2, and this is x1, y1, x2, y2. Now later, when you substitute that, you will be confused. Okay? Alright, now let's do that. x1, y1. For math, please write down everything on the piece of paper, and then you can see that. Okay? I know some people are very smart. They want to do the mind calculation, but we want accuracy. Write that down. And then this is my second point, x2, y2. Okay, x2, y2. Okay, now we write m equals y2 take away y1 over x2 take away x1. Like I said, don't mechanically remember that. Please think about this is the distance, this is the steps. Y step over x step. Alright, it's still y step over x step, just different writing. Now let's substitute anything here. Y2, what is the value of y2? 4. What is the value of y1? 3. It's not difficult, just a substitute. Take away. And then the value of x2 is 5. And take away 7 or take away negative 7? Negative 7. Okay? Alright, so that is negative 7. It's very important. Alright, so the answer is 1 over 12. Okay, now the question may ask you, is the line increasing or decreasing? Is the line increasing or decreasing? Increasing, very good. So after you plot this line, your line should be increasing from the left to the right. Okay, because the gradient is positive. Good. So we want you to remember all the knowledge like that. Okay, they linked everything. Alright, any other questions? So this is a revision about what we have learned yesterday. Okay, now I want to make some changes. Now I give you this question, right? A line passes through 1, -4 and 3x with a gradient -12. Find the value of x. Okay, so this formula is definitely there. Okay, should be there, m equals. And also, I want you to check, did you write which one is x1, which one is y1? Please write that down, otherwise later you're going to be confused. Alright, you will be confused. X take away -4 is x plus 4.
Yeah, x plus 4.
Alright, so x plus 4 over 2. Now, what is my next step?
That's equal to...
Oh, some people said that equal to -12. Why?
Because that's, you found m there.
Very good, because this is m. Alright, so we make this m equals to this m. They are equal. You are given this one equals this one. So x plus 4 over 2 equals -12. For this equation, do you still remember how to solve that? When we did similar triangles, okay, we talked about this. How can I solve this Diagonally. We call that cross multiplication. Okay? But the problem is, how can I put my negative sign? On top, can I put the -1 with the 2? That's fine. But which one is easier? Okay, I will explain that. Some people forgot. It doesn't matter. We can explain that. But I put negative sign here, easier, or I put negative sign here, easier. Probably 1, because -1 times everything is negative, that thing. Okay? Alright. So probably I put the -1 on the top. So that will be cross multiplication. That means I times diagonally. So 2 times -1 diagonally is -2 equals. Some people said, I will not remember. If you cannot remember, you move this negative sign here, and then you can remember. I'll explain that to you later. Okay? But what is this side? This side is 2 times bracket. Don't forget the bracket. Now I use color bracket to remind you. 2 times x plus 4. Okay? It's not 2x plus 4. It's 2 bracket x plus 4. Okay? Alright. Cross multiplication. You multiply diagonally. And then we expand the bracket to solve linear equation. So you can see that's why we do linear equation first. Alright, that's very important. We continue. -2 equals expand 2x plus 8. Alright, so we rearrange. So that's -2x equals 8 plus 2. And move, I change. Move 2x, I change the sign. And move to -2, I change the sign. 8 is on the right hand side. We don't change that. We don't move that, so we do not change that. Okay, so -2x equals 10. X equals -5. Do you have any?
You could count 2 on both sides.
Sorry?
Or you could count 2 on both sides.
Oh, for this one.
Yeah.
He said we can times 2 on both sides. Is that correct?
Yeah.
If I times the same number on both sides of the equation, the value will not be changed. So I times 2 here, I times 2 here. And then you can have x plus 4 equals -1. So x equals. Very good. Oh, some people will say, oh, that is easier. Now, it really depends on how proficient you solve the linear equations. Okay? The more you solve, and the more method that you are comfortable with are here. Okay? Both are correct. But I still want to explain these to everyone. Alright? Because some people ask. Okay, I write that here. A over B equals C over D. Now we have to say B is not 0 and D is not 0. Okay, so to get rid of the denominator, do you think I have to times B on this side? I times D on this side. Okay, let's do that. A over B, I times B on this side, B will be cancelled. Does that make sense? Yes? Okay, so if I times B on this side, I have to times B on this side. Is that correct?
Yeah.
If I want to get rid of B, I need to times B here, so they can be cancelled. But this is equation. I times B on this side, I have to times B on the other side. Okay, so make that balance. So I can only cancel B. How about D? I want to cancel D. I have to times D on both sides. D here and D here. Okay, now let's do the cancellation. This one can be cancelled. This one can be cancelled. So the answer is A D equals BC. Okay? So it seems I use A times D equals B times C. Okay? Alright. So in the real questions, we don't do this calculation. We start from this step and do this cross multiplication straight away. That will be easier. Okay, we can do cross multiplication, expanding like that, or you times the denominator on both sides. Okay, any other questions?